My mother never made mustard. She didn't have to. She lived in Germany, where mustard is a kitchen staple that comes in endless variations. Today we're making mustard. A classic German mustard and a southern German variation that uses an ingredient that everyone discards with a disgusted look on his face. Und los! Mittelscharfer Senf. It's what mustard should be. A good amount of heat and a complex flavor profile. You'll find this in pretty much every fridge in Germany. There's two types of mustard seeds. Yellow and brown. The first one brings a lot of aroma and a nutty flavor, and the second one brings the funk and the heat. Pretty much every recipe uses a combination of the two. Here's the science most recipes skip. Mustard seeds contain no heat whatsoever. The heat is locked up in a compound called glucosinolate. When you crush mustard seeds, an enzyme is released, and that enzyme splits the glucosinolate into isothiocyanates. Say that 3 times quickly. These compounds help prevent cancer, are anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, good for your heart, good for your brain, and overall good for your health. It is also the same family of compounds that make your eyes water when you eat wasabi at the sushi place. First, we need to grind the seeds, and this is where most people destroy their mustard before it's even mustard. Heat. Heat is a problem. Myrosinase, that's the enzyme doing all the work, falls apart above 30 degrees Celsius. That's only 86 Fahrenheit. You destroy the enzyme, you don't get any heat. And worse, you get bitterness instead. The glucosinolates break down all wrong and produce a hell of a lot of off flavors. Therefore, small batches, short runs, do breaks in between grinding to let things cool down. My trick for my spice grinder here is I use a little bit of cling film and cover it so the dust doesn't come out. The liquid is not an afterthought. Vinegar is your flavor backbone and your preservative. My mother always said, where there's vinegar, there needs to be sugar. And she was right. The sugar rounds off the vinegar's aggression. Put the liquid in a pot, add your sugar and your salt. Pop that on the stove real quick. Just heat it up a little bit, that everything dissolves, and then let it cool back down. Remember, heat is a problem. Last ingredient is turmeric, mostly for the color, but also for a faint floral note. I hope you didn't think yellow mustard is yellow because of the mustard. It's actually yellow because of turmeric. Now, combine. Yellow, brown, about a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric. I just eyeball this. I think there we go. And then pour over the liquid, which should be cold again. Stir to combine. This is going to look wrong, too loose, almost a soup. But it's the expected consistency. We can always add a little powder later on, shouldn't it turn out right. But mustard drinks liquids, so this will thicken considerably. Cover and put it into the fridge for a few hours, better overnight. This is what it looks like a day later. It's almost too thick. Now this needs to be blended. Use a stick blender or really any other kind of blender. The higher powered, the better, so you get a much smoother texture. Blend until you have the texture you want. Silky and emulsified is usually the go-to. Or you can just leave it a little bit more coarse if that's your thing. I'm gonna add a teeny dash of vinegar because I think this is gonna be too thick. I told you it's too thick. A little shot of water. If you're watering this down, go about equal parts of vinegar and water. You don't want to dilute it too much with water because then you lose your preservation. There, much better. Do the grinding right when it comes out of the fridge. That gives you a temperature advantage. Adjust to the consistency you want. Add a little bit more water if it's too firm. Add a little bit more powder if you have to thicken it up. I'm perfectly fine with the consistency here. That's just as mustard should be. Now it's the time to sample. I know this is going to hit me hard because fresh mustard is really aggressive. It has an excellent flavor, but that wasabi quality to it. This needs to develop for a week or two. Fill it into jars and put it into the fridge for more flavor to develop. Put a date on it so you know how many days you actually had this in the fridge before you could use it and it's not that harsh anymore. Here's a new one. Finally, a use for stale beer. This bottle of Mexican brew has been sitting on my counter for a few days now. Normally I would just discard it, but leave it to Germans to come up with an idea on how to use stale beer. Biersenf, simply translated, beer mustard. This is the kind of mustard Germans put on their breakfast sausage at like 7 a.m. without any conflict. Accompanied by a pretzel and a fresh beer, of course. That liquid is not a decoration, it adds malty sweetness and depending on what type of beer you're using, also some bitterness or fruity notes. The recipe says any beer. Maybe don't go with flavorless rice beer, but anything with a significant amount of flavor will be a good addition. I like dark beers for this because they have this like caramel quality to them. Use what you have, what you like, or what you have left over. Stale is just fine for this. This recipe also uses pre-ground mustard powder, which changes the texture entirely because commercially ground mustard powder is a lot finer than what you can grind at home. You can actually use pre-ground for the previous recipe too. This mustard has a neutral flavored oil in it, which will make it a little bit more mellow. Combine the liquids, beer, vinegar, oil. Start to combine. It's kind of like a vinaigrette. Add the salt. You're actually building an emulsion here. That's why I compared it to a vinaigrette, because that's essentially what it is, just with a lot of beer in it. Add a good dash of sugar. Margarine. This herb is underused outside of Germany. Add a good dash of it. In a beer mustard, it bridges the malt and the heat in a way that's hard to replace. 1 tablespoon minimum. I have about 2 here. Pepper, a few grinds, essentially to taste. Now everything simply goes together. Same thing as before, cover it, put it into the fridge. 8 hours minimum. This is what it looks like on the next day. As with the last recipe, blend it smooth. This is a little watery, so I'm going to add more mustard powder. It needs a few days in the fridge before it develops its personality. Right now it will be tasting a little bit raw and unfinished and quite too hot. The consistency is excellent. It will thicken a little bit more. Give this a week or two and you have an excellent mustard. As last time, into a jar it goes and then it can mellow a little bit in the fridge. And there you have them. This one on a cheese board or a ham sandwich, and the other one on a bratwurst or a pretzel. Let's try the beer one first. Now, that is mustard, probably made. Now for the yellow stuff. You know, the yellow stuff from the bottle isn't bad because it's bad. It's bad because it's made to offend nobody. And if it can't offend anybody, it cannot please anybody either. This one can, and once you've made your own, going back is difficult. Full recipe in the description as usual, and there's also a printable one on my blog.
Sun is falling, speed.